Whether you're currently an OnlyFans creator or you're aspiring to become one, you've probably asked yourself, do I even need an agency, and at what point would it make sense for me? Like with most things, a great agency when you need it is going to be one of the most valuable and beneficial things to you and your goals. But having a shit agency, or just an agency when you don't really need one, is just going to cost money, be a headache, and generally make life pretty terrible. This video is going to help you to weigh up whether you actually need an agency and at what point it makes the most sense for you. To start, when don't you need an agency? Because it's not a necessity for every person at every stage. If you're just starting from absolute zero, so no following, no OnlyFans, no knowledge, no nothing, I would hold off on getting an agency right now. It's not that you can't, I just see so many people the second they want to start an OnlyFans, they're instantly looking for who is the best agency. But what will really help you is first just developing a baseline understanding of how everything works. I would hold off until you've established one way of getting some subs to your account, nothing crazy, just a few each day, and once you've made some money off them in the chats. Let's say $1,000 off one person would mean you have a pretty good fundamental understanding of what makes people buy. And it may take a while, but it means when you go to work with an agency, the business partnership is going to be so much healthier. For one, when you're discussing strategy together, you can go, well, this is what's been working so far. What do you think? If they're completely full of shit, your bullshit detectors will be much more acclimated because you've done it yourself. And things like marketing and chatting sometimes don't work how you'd expect. Like marketing, you can make all this content for so long and nothing works until it all does. Or chatting, you can do so well for a few days and then it can die off and then it can go so well again. And if you've never seen that happen before, it can be like, well, is this going well? Is this not going well? It's also a completely viable option to just hire and train your own team. With an agency, you're just outsourcing to one contractor to basically do it for you. It may be more time consuming and a bit more stressful, but if you're willing to do that yourself, there are going to be some benefits. You'll have more control over what's going on, potentially less money going out. Not in every case, but a lot of the time, yeah. You'll have more satisfaction because you built everything yourself. Less risk. There's a lot of dodgy bullshit in this industry. There are risks associated with working with an agency. There's also the risk that you're relying too much on this one agency that anything could really happen to. And you'll develop skills that you can apply to other business endeavors. So if that's something you're interested in doing, you don't need an agency. If the goal is to make more money on OnlyFans, you need to spend your time in the right places. So if you're deciding whether to start working with an agency, you need to think, are they going to help me spend more time doing the right thing with the highest return? To figure that out, first write down how many hours are you spending on your account each day. And be honest, there's no point writing down 10 hours if you're not doing that. If it's 1, 2, 3 hours, that's fine. Now list every single task you do during that time to keep your account running. Scripting content, uploading, sorting, chatting, recording, everything you need to do to grow your account and keep it running. Now, if you could only do one thing for the next week, what would it be? What is the one thing with the highest return that nobody else could do for you? In most cases, that's going to be recording content for marketing, going live. Whatever it is, that is your money task, the one most important thing. Now look at all the other tasks in your list. Are they eating into the time that you would otherwise be spending doing your money task? And you need to be honest. Like if you had more time to record content, would you do it or would you just do something else? And that's up to you, but this is how you decide whether it makes sense to outsource. Is there going to be a return? If you decide yes, these other tasks are eating into the time I could be doing my money task, you either need to spend more time on your account or outsource those tasks. And keep in mind, if you plan to outsource by hiring and training your own team, it sounds fantastic, but you're also going to grow the amount of bullshit admin tasks that you need to juggle with your money task. So that's where you really need to weigh up. Does it make sense to just spend the money and outsource to an agency, or should I spend the time first to hire and train my own team? And that's going to be up to you. Whenever your account stops growing, it means that there's one thing stopping you from getting that little bit further. And that thing is the current constraint of your account. But the thing is, that constraint changes over time. So you need to figure out, will an agency be able to fix whatever is stopping you from growing right now? The truth is, there are some problems that are just better solved yourself. Developing general content creation skills, lighting, angles, just making content look good. Sure, an agency can guide you, but really it just comes down to to experience. Managing your time so you can remain consistent. Maybe you have a day job and you're struggling to find the time to even make one reel per day. Sure, you can go to an agency with that, but they're probably not going to be that helpful in organizing your whole life. So it's probably better if you deal with that first and then you go to an agency when the problem becomes something else. Some problems are better solved by an agency or team. Managing your chats, like it just gets to a point where it's impossible to do it yourself. Admin, posting content, sorting, uploading, planning and executing on a marketing strategy. It can get pretty labor intensive as it gets bigger and bigger, so you'll probably need a team behind you to help you. And it's easy to look at this and go, oh, like those aren't constraints, making content look good. But the truth is, I have seen so many more creators struggling with these things that are looking for an agency, and that's when they don't really get anywhere with them because the problem is something they need to fix themselves. There are way more creators that just need better looking content than creators that need an amazing chatting strategy. Let's say you've got an established following and you're getting 10, 15 subs per day. If you don't have the time to talk to them, yes, it makes sense to put a chat team on there. It's going to lift the current constraint. But if you're just starting out and you're struggling to find the time to record content at all and it's all inconsistent, putting a chat team on your account with like 20 subs it might help a little bit, but it's not really going to lift the constraint. The constraint is you need to find a way to organize your time. It's all about looking at what the biggest problem is and deciding, is it better if I solve this or I go to an agency to solve this? I hope you're enjoying the video so far. If you are, I'd love it if you could just quickly leave it a like. It helps me out a lot. I drop videos like this multiple times a week, so if they help you, consider subscribing, share it with your friends, and if there are any problems that you're facing that I could make a video on to help you, leave it in the comments and I'll try to get to all of them. Thank you. Beyond that, the decision to work with an agency or not will ultimately come down to, are you optimizing for more time or more money? Because the reality is, continual growth will require outsourcing at some point, whether that be to an agency or your own team that you hire and train yourself. There will become a point where you can't do everything yourself anymore if you want to keep on getting bigger and bigger. You may not want to grow your account to that size, and that's fine, but let's assume you do. Agencies are simple in the sense that you just use money to buy time. They do all the painful tasks for you, like hiring and training staff, managing them. That's the stuff that really sucks, let's be honest. You'll have more time to do the things you want to do, and more importantly, you'll have way more time to do your money task, the thing with the highest return. So you will probably still make more money in the long run. However, if you're willing to invest the time and effort to hire and train your own team, there are definitely benefits. You'll have less money going out, especially at the beginning. You'll have more control, less risk, potentially more satisfaction. But you need to accept that this will become your life. I'm not trying to put you off hiring and training your own team to manage your account. I think if you want to do that, amazing. It's one of the most rewarding things you can do, like building your own business. But if that's not something you're genuinely interested in spending your time doing, I wouldn't bother. Like, you can start doing that, and if you don't like it, you can then outsource to an agency. There's no urgency with that, but it's a simple way of weighing up your options. By far, one of the hardest parts of growing your account on your own is getting your chats covered. As things grow more and more, it becomes so difficult to juggle finding the right people and getting them trained up fast enough. If that's something you're interested in, I've made an entire video about how to find and train your own chatters, so I really recommend watching that. That's right there. Watch it. Enjoy the rest of your day.